Hey there, how you doing? You okay, Brooks? Yeah, hi, Michael. Thanks for popping by as well. Hiya, Finley. How you doing? It is. I felt this week went faster than the previous week though, but yeah, taking one day at a time, I think, is what I'm doing. But it is a struggle. Welcome to everybody in chat or who is viewing. Feel free to shout up if you want. We're going to cut to the live feed in about 3 minutes. Um, then we'll go over to the game itself. Just saying hello and welcome to people at the moment. Hope you've all had a good week. Hope you've managed to catch the chapter 1 video so you know where we are and how the game runs now. I'll go over those details once we go live. But don't be shy. Feel free to shout out if you are in chat. It's good to see it's an interactive community game. Everybody's welcome. Um, you can type in your ideas and help guide the story. Just hold out for a couple of minutes, then we'll cut to the live stream itself. Yeah, this is a fun game. Really enjoyed last week. I'm not sure how you as the viewers felt it went, but it was very character driven. Really enjoyed it, and it was great to have all these voices and trying to interpret all of the things that's going through our fledgling vampire's mind. Hey, Marmalade, thanks very much for joining us. Just warming up, about a minute, and then we'll cut to the live scene. See how many people we get tonight. Maybe some people will just jump straight in at 1:30, and it is indeed that hour now, or half hour, or the time. So we will open up the scene, and you can feast your eyes on this glorious scene that Marmalade and Finley has put together for us. It is spectacular. First things I want to say is a big thank you again to our team here, Marmalade, Brooks and Finley, mods and helping get the graphics sorted and all of the tech behind the scenes. Without your help, it would be me just rambling. So once again, have to say a big thank you to all you guys because we really, really appreciate it. It's just looking so good. And thank you again tomorrow night for the Cyberpunk one as well. So hello and welcome. We are about to tell a vampire story in a slightly different way. Um, you will all be controlling the same character. You will um, be controlling the character, Hey Nightshades, um, via the chat, but primarily via the polls that we'll do. When there's critical moments, we'll be putting up polls, and you can kind of vote which way you think our fledgling vampire is going to go. Can you not hear me, Nightshades? Because I am not muted. Um, it might be something that is your end if you cannot hear me. I'm saying such wonderful things at the moment. I think it is to do with your equipment rather than mine. I'm sure you can. Yep, there we go. He has, or she has, figured it out. Awesome stuff. So yes, you're controlling a single character through polls and chat, and we will see how it goes tonight. If there is an active action, this is something that is not automatic. We will ask somebody in the community to do a quick roll. We'll give the commands out. You're looking for a single success, and a success is determined by rolling a d6. It's kind of using the rules from a 10 candle system a little bit. We're not quite following the full rules of those, but it does seem to work quite nicely. At the moment, we have a pool of 8 dice. If you fail, though, the skulls on the screen gradually diminish until you either are determined to go into frenzy, or you die meeting the final death. We'll resolve exactly what that means during the game if we get to that point. So that is the way it works. Hopefully people are familiar with it, and you can kind of watch the video chapter 1 to get a much better idea. It's fairly straightforward and fairly easy to jump into. The polls should appear at the top of your screen, and anybody who is viewing, whether you are lurking or not, can take part. So, a very quick update for people that haven't had a chance to watch the episode 1. You are a fledgling vampire. You have very, very recently, over the last couple of weeks, been sired. Unfortunately, you have no idea who your sire was. You scavenged on the streets to finally be discovered by some other kindred, who dragged you in front of the Baron of East Nottingham, Baron Lucas Griffith. You received quite good treatment from him, as he arranged for you to be taken to something known as the Whisper Bloom Sanctum, a lodge of sorts on the edge of his barony, somewhere between Burton Joyce and Bingham, a rural area, only 20 minutes or so drive to the city centre of Nottingham itself. Here you, in chapter 1, met a number of other fledglings, and their story was pretty much the same, that they too are unaware of who sired them. They too have been brought here, not necessarily from all sired in East Nottingham, but dotted around the county itself. You encountered Marshmallow, whose name is Caleb Webb, not particularly happy about being embraced, misses the taste of marshmallows. You met Catnip, maybe before she was embraced, keen on energy drinks and perhaps some other more illegal substances. You met Smokes, some kind of badass, um, um, determined that her name didn't come from the fact that she smoked, but came from the fact that maybe she was responsible for a small amount of arson. Um, I'm just double checking. Can anybody hear those notifications? Because I think Chrome is playing up as I've got everything else shut down. You can hear them. Ah, just give me a moment. It seems that Chrome itself is deciding that even though Facebook is not open, I'm going to mute this conversation. No, it's distracting. And as I say, I'm not quite sure how to resolve that as I haven't got Facebook actually open. I'm just a popular person. So, yeah, a little bit of arson. That was Smokes. And then finally, Moth was the other one. You determined his name was Maximilian Oscar Francis. He was a wannabe chav street person, graffiti artist, but he actually came from quite a well-to-do family. Trying to talk the talk, but failing substantially. For greater details, if you haven't had a chance to see it, once again, I'll refer you back to chapter 1. You also investigated the room a little bit and you uncovered the fact that even though as fledgling vampires, or sort of kindred, you could not see your own reflection. There was a large mirror in this dorm room of yours, and you questioned why. You examined it, and with your slightly heightened, newfound kindred senses, you realized that it was a two-way mirror. What is behind it is unknown to you as yet. You were also aware, yes, there was much licking. Thank you very much, community. Yeah, it was a an update, and I'm not quite sure. I can't disable Chrome. Chrome is shut down. If I shut it all down, I won't have Stream Manager. So you also think that Smokes saw something outside moving in the grounds of this lodge. It's quite a large property, converted. Obviously, the room that you was in was also converted with windows blacked out, so that the sun won't catch you in any way, shape, or form and send you to the final death. You think someone was moving outside in the grounds as well, but you could not see anything. Maybe Smokes was just winding you up. You were all waiting, though, sent up here to unpack and prepare for the gong to go. And you waited like good kindred fledglings and waited and waited. And then eventually, after introductions were done, the gong rang and you made your way downstairs. I believe we closed the last episode with the community deciding that our fledgling would slide down the banister, and that is what you do. The others go down this rather magnificent set of staircases that wind down into a hall that you're familiar with, although you haven't had a huge amount of time to study it. It's a large entrance hall. The floor is marbled black and white. There are a number of uh, large stuffed animals. There is a bear in a horrible pose. Um, one corner there is a stag's head. There is an owl. There's even, as strange as it sounds, a walrus. Um, Giving this place an old, musty sort of atmosphere. There are also a number of portraits on the wall. Um, there is no beavers. I deliberately left those out because I have no sense of humour. Uh, you look around and you see the gong has been banged by or rung by a familiar figure. It is Reverend Obadiah Trelease. Um, he indicates for you to move through into the meeting room. So, I see that we have some people want to do some stuff. This is not all exclusive, but we'll do the first poll of the day so you can get used to what is going on. Let me get my typing up. So, so I have to be careful about what I put into the poll because it doesn't like certain words like lick. So I have look at the bear and the walrus kind of fully means interact with it, which fundamentally means that if you want to be licking it, you can be. So anybody who is currently in chat can have a go at this. You can vote, and we can see at the moment that the bear and the walrus, it seems that you are not very what's the word, obedient, really, as you have been asked to go into the room and you are ignoring your new host. I'm sure this can't go badly. Okay, the poll is in. Rather than immediately doing what you have been asked to do, your attention is drawn to the walrus. You begin to boop it on the nose. Potentially, somebody said something about licking something, maybe licking the moors. Does seem sensible to do what you are asked. You bang it on the nose. This thing is large. It's surprising how big these beasts can grow, and it has two very large fangs, teeth, tusks coming down. Fangs, tusks. Again, it brings back the reality of who you are now and what you have lost. The thing seems to look back at you, the eyes glinting in the dim light. Uh, Other than that, and the bashing upon the nose of this poor, unfortunate, stuffed, lung-dead creature, you don't really see anything else. The Reverend looks across. You, stop in there now. Do you? Obey him. Quite exciting. I have no idea what all of you are going to do, which does make it quite exciting. So you have some options there. Do you obey him, go back upstairs, carry on booping, try and leave the lodge? Don't forget, there is no rights and wrongs here. Your decisions will take the story wherever it goes. This is not railroaded. There are encounters, there are repercussions to your actions, but you ultimately decide whether you meet your final death or not, and how that will occur. And time has run out. Wow. The Malkavian in you cannot resist as you carry on bumping the nose of this thing. He sighs. He says, I knew Malkavians were going to be a problem. He tries a softer approach and says, it will go better for you if you do as I say. There are many dangers, many things that you are unaware of, and if you do not wish to listen, that is fine. In fact, that actually helps me out. If you choose to join us, do so. If you don't, carry on playing with that thing, and the door is there for you to leave. Do you? So, once again, you have choices. Ignore him obviously means carry on booping. You can enter the meeting or leave the house. Looks like his words have fallen heavy with you. Yeah, it appears that you are almost all of one mind, which is a miracle. Enter the meeting. You enter, you are the last to enter. The other four are already there, sitting down on hard chairs, uh, waiting for him to come. Closes the door uh, behind you. You are not alone in this room, though, as well as Moth, Marshmallow, Smokes, and Catnip. There are four other people in here. These look of different ages, look more mm, more authoritative, as if they have been at the lodge for substantially longer than you have. There are two women and two men, as well as the Reverend. He introduces them, pointing to the first one. This is Erasmus King. He is going to be schooling you and determining if you have any talents of a slightly magical inclination. He is from a clan known as the Tremere. Some of you, we do not know who your sires are, might well have inclinations towards that. Smoke scoffs. Magic. Is this Hogwarts? Uh, no one laughs. Then the Tremere Erasmus King is dressed very much how you would imagine someone of that description would be. A long coat, doesn't seem to be making him sweat even in this room. Black trousers, black shirt. He has a chain around his neck, and on the chain there are a number of symbols, tokens. Black hair, tightly and shaved. Moustache, looking like he is straight from maybe the 1960s. He kind of nods and looks across you all. It will be a pleasure to put you in your place. Then they point to another individual. This is Hannah Hickman. She is of the clan Nosferatu. It is difficult to make out her face. She has a veil that covers it, and dressed in what appears to be some kind of old school Victorian Victoriana dress, lace, black and red, gloves. She says, the clan Nosferatu bear their scars of their embracement. I can see that none of you have been sired by one, but you should learn some skills. I will happily teach you, should you be prepared to listen. The Reverend then points to the third. This is Miss Charity Drayton. She will school you in the ways of business. She is of Clan Ventru. She will show you the vampire laws, kindred laws. She will show you the etiquettes that you must carefully navigate around. Listen well to her. You are in an area that is called and ruled by anarchs, but even though they have rules, if you ever come into the conflict is perhaps the wrong word, but the presence of the Camarilla, the ivory tower, then her lessons will aid you very well. She is dressed in a very smart business suit, wearing glasses. You think maybe more for show and for dress appearance than for practicality. She gives you a quick smile, taps a pen on the desk, and says, "I am ready to teach if you are ready to learn." And then finally, this is Isaac Tyndall. He is from Clan Gangrel. He is a hunter. He can tap into the spirits of the beast itself. He will show you his ways as well. And hopefully, over time, we can determine who your sires were, whether it was the same or different. It is important to us to know why you were embraced, why you are sireless. And it is important, whilst you are here, to try and give you purpose. With that, he sits back, lets the silence embrace you all, and waits to see if any of you have any questions. Is there any voices in our fledgling kindred who want to ask at the moment? Time passes as he looks around you. So, I'm going to leave you to getting acquainted with your teachers. He looks at you, our fledgling, smiles at the questions that come out of your mouth. Why us? Why are we here? Who is the most powerful kindred here? Yes. He smiles. I will tell you this, unfortunately, there is only room for 3 of you here. If we are not satisfied with one of you, the door will be shown to you, and you will be once again on your own. Have some time, speak to your new teachers, and then we will start the process of deciding who will stay and who will go. With that, he gives a nod to the 4 teachers and leaves. Okay, so you've had brief introductions to your supposedly new teachers. Doesn't seem though that you have set a very good example. Maybe you are at the bottom of the list Maybe you are the one who will go. Maybe that's what you want. So you have a number of different options here to talk to. Hopefully you were listening, so you know what clans these are from and what they are hoping to teach you, because if not, it will be random factor. Lots of questions. So the poll is up. More introductions, deeper mystery. Who has piqued your interest? We technically know which clan you're from, and it is none of these. Does this make you an outsider? Erasmus, Hannah, Charity, and Isaac begin to separate as the others begin to choose perhaps their favourites. You watch the room, you watch your competitors. Are they competitors? Do you want to stay here? You see that Catnip moves to speak to Isaac. Smokes speaks to none of them. Marshmallow wants to speak to Charity. So does Moth. They hover around her. You have chosen to go and speak with Erasmus. He kind of looks, he's leaning against the fireplace at the moment. As you get closer, you see that the symbols around his neck have various strange designs on. He has a long 1960s moustache that comes down. He kind of nods and looks intently at you. So, my name is Erasmus King. I am of Clan Tremere. We are skilled in blood sorcery. You might find that difficult to believe, but a few nights ago, I am sure that you didn't even know that kindred existed either. Can I do magic tricks? Yes. Does it tire me? Yes. It is good to know that you have noticed that hair doesn't grow when you are embraced, and you recognize the style. I am from the 60s. That is when I was embraced. It is good that you can pull a hanky out of your pocket. Is this trying to impress me? I noticed, I couldn't help but notice that the Reverend was giving you a strange look. Have you begun to upset him already? Or is it just your blood that is speaking out for you? sympathize. So many things, just being all of yourselves. The voices, yes, the voices in your head. It is interesting to see, something that I am keen on. It is something that perhaps we should take in mind. Your clan, your blood, for your slightly more erratic behaviour, or maybe not. Tell me, how do you sleep during the day? Do you ever in your waking hours see things that are not there? Upside down, it seems that you have a sense of humour, which is very much a shame, for I do not. You are an interesting one. You are. He looks at you intently. Maybe I can show you some things. I am not entirely sure that this place, this lodge, is a good idea. I think it is perhaps a waste of time. A look at you and the others. We have little to work with, and we have little time to do what should be done. What do you get out of it if you stay? Well, well, protection. You get taught the ways of the kindred. It is dangerous out there, even for those that have been embraced, and politically speaking, if you make the wrong step, uh, you will meet your final death in the blink of an eye. Uh, it is very dangerous out there. That is what you'll get out of here. Protection. You will be taught to use your talents, and we will hopefully put them to good use. Why is it dangerous? Well, why is it dangerous? Because everything will try and kill you out there. Everything will try and send you to your final death. We are living, as the Chinese curse says, in interesting times. The kindred society is fractured in political turmoil. No one knows who to trust, and it is dangerous, on top of our own other kindred wishing to cause harm if you are not of the right faction. There are the hunters that are aware of us, the Second Inquisition. They are hunting, seeking us out, trying to put us to the final death. There are other creatures, other things that are of the world of darkness, and they too will perhaps seek your final death. No, I cannot speak Chinese. No, I cannot dance. I think you should perhaps take a breath, listen to the words that I have said, and take it on board. You might be of use to us, or if you are true to your clan, maybe you should be the one that leaves. And with that, he kind of pauses. Do you So, do you do one of these things? Keep asking questions. Go to Hannah, go to Charity, go to Isaac, or leave the room as you begin to meet with some of these staff, teachers, allies, friends. He hinted, Erasmus King, at a few things, some of which you might have picked up, some of which you might have just ignored. Go to Hannah. It's quite interesting. You turn, look around, and she's not there. You can't see her. Or maybe she is there and you just can't see her. You strain and you reach out, trying to maybe even sense the unseen. This is going to require a roll. Who wants to do the first roll of the night? Who wants to do the first roll of the night? You have 8 dice. You are looking for a single roll. Single 6 to succeed. Okay, it seems that people want you to do it. Oh dear. Oh dear. You have left the side down. And we know what happens then. She has maybe gone, or you have failed. Another school goes, and we reset it. You try and strain. You try and look. You try and see. Maybe she has just left. Maybe she was never there in the first place. She was veiled. She was wearing this dress. Maybe she was a ghost, a wraith, a spectre. But whatever it is, you cannot sense her. The dice pool is reset, and we then move on to still searching for Hannah, to no avail. You look around, the door to the room is open. Charity is giving good advice to a couple of your roommates. Smoke seems to have got very friendly with Isaac. Hey, Vancouver. Thank you very much for the host. I really appreciate it. And congrats on the thing that you are running soon. It sounds absolutely amazing. So we are going to move on and speak to Charity. Charity is currently engaged with Marshmallow, who is kind of nodding and listening intently. She looks relaxed, dressed in this smart business suit, sort of large glasses, and she is tapping what appears to be a very nice pen, expensive, designer, on the table. She looks up at you, sighs, almost dismissing you immediately. So, you. I've heard a lot about you already. And, well, I do not think there is much we can do for you or with you. I think that perhaps it is difficult for your clan to be constrained by simple rules. But I've been brought here. I am instructed by the powers that be that I am to give judgment and fair provenance to all of you. So, tell me about yourself. Yeah, Vancouver, it is absolutely amazing news. She has asked you to focus and ask. I'm going to have to mute another thing. So, you enter into conversation with her. Do you Some interesting choices there. What do you do? I'm going to quickly so we have, wow, look at this. We need some more votes here. We are all but drawn a three-way tie. Anybody else going to vote in the final seconds? Look at this. It seems that you are sort of confused. It seems that you are distracted, indecisive, listening to your inner voices, trying to focus and snatching the pen. I think Marmalade, as you are fundamentally responsible for this beautiful scene, I think you are right. I think you try to do all three. The voices tell you to do many things and to try and focus, but also to snatch the pen. You instinctively just try and snatch the pen. You begin to move with blurring speed. But I need a roll. I need another roll for this. Give us a roll, please. Somebody to try and snatch the pen. Oh, wow. Look at this. You guys are absolutely. These should not be fails as we lose another skull. There is no re-roll at the moment, but you are welcome to one if anybody wants to sort of donate, or we can carry on moving to the repercussions of your actions. It is up to you. You still have 6 skulls, so you're doing okay. Okay, Finley is going to get some re-rolls. So she looks at you as you go to trait the pen. Finn is indeed off to save the day. The thing with the schools nightshades is that each school is it is just £1 for a reroll. You do notice that the pool of dice reduces per school. So we're on 6 dice at the moment, then 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. So it does spiral against you the further down we go. But it's been particularly harsh today with 2 fails in a row. Unable to sort of locate the Nosferatu that is known as Hannah Hickman, and trying to snatch the pen as well from the Ventru known as Charity Drayton. It is an awful lot of dice. Thank you very much, Finley. Is that for a 5 rerolls? Is that what we're doing? Or are you going back to 7 dice and refilling that up? What would you prefer to do? 5 rerolls. Okay. So as far as I've got it mechanically, if Marmalade wants to do exclamation mark reroll, it should roll with the correct amount of dice. Is that correct? Yeah. Would you like to do it? Oh, look at that. Success. Well done. Um, it all changes. You have 4 left now, but with supernatural speed, you move. And it's very strange, as this is the first time that you have sort of reached out, and everything everything slows down around you as uh, you move faster, and it is as simple as perhaps taking candy from a baby as you pluck the pen from her hand. And it's beautiful, it's antique, it is a fountain pen, it is enameled with beautiful inset stone. It is worth a lot of money, but more importantly, it is beautiful. As you roll it round in your fingers, you see lights. It seems to trigger something in you, and you get a flash of insight, maybe premonition, or maybe it's just more of your voices talking to you as you sense danger, danger, danger. Charity looks up. You seem to have my pen. You took it from me. That is interesting. You appear to uh, be able to move with incredible speed. Well, that is interesting. The pen, you took it fair and square. Keep it. For now, anyway. So, we get to put something in the inventory. Look at that. We have an inventory. Uh, your first item. So, I just want to clarify, do we need to put the skull up back up to 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or was it just a re-roll? Let me know, Finley, because I am not sure. So let us light this skull back up. Don't want to cheat you out of your skulls. There we go. Thanks to the re-rolls, we are back to the 7. Perfect. Very nice. Okay. So she looks at you again. So you have exhibited some talent there, some skill. You have moved with incredible speed and disarmed me. They do say the pen is stronger than the sword, but I don't know. I've not known many people win a sword fight with a pen. And she smiles at that joke. It's not very funny, but it seems to amuse her. You seem to be somewhat more focused now. You talk of danger. What? This place is safe. There is no danger here. It is unknown to our enemies. It is secret. Plus, we are here. You saw danger. Is there any more you can tell me about it? Or was it just a feeling? She pauses for a while, listening to you. You notice that Marshmallow is still next to, and he is amazed that you moved so fast. He also looks scared that you have said that you sensed this danger. If you were to judge, maybe Marshmallow could well be the weakest link. Certainly the easiest one to pressure into leaving. Maybe that is something that we should do. Maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe not indeed. She looks at you and says, well, I am somewhat impressed with you and your talents. And you definitely drifted off for a moment, and you say you saw something, you saw danger. Well, let us see if anything occurs. See whether the voices have spoken to you true, or you are just mad. It sometimes happens with your clan, the madness, and it's not clever, it's not a talent. You are just purely insane. With that, so you have some options again now. So, with the sense of danger, potentially it might be the thing that Smokes had pointed out to you before, or maybe that is just a figment of your imagination. You try and find Hannah, talk to Isaac, just leave the room. It looks very much like speaking to Isaac. So, You kind of nod to Charity, put the pen in your pocket or carry it. Uh, Maybe a token of victory, of proving that you are worthy of staying here. Or maybe proving that you are just some common thief who should be kicked out the door. The voices tell you different things. You move across to Isaac. Uh, his description matches his form. He is slack-shouldered, hunched almost, feral, kind of looking up. Him and Smokes are laughing. They seem to have something in common. What that is, you cannot determine, as they both go quiet as you arrive. Both of them look at you. Yeah, what is it? Says Isaac. Look, I don't want to be here, and I certainly don't want to teach you. So why don't you just do us all a favor and, leave? Someone like you, that will get everybody else here to their final death. You can't be relied on. Taps his head. You have no use. So, do us a favour. Just leave now. I've made my mind up already. You're the weakest one. Look, I've been brought here. I don't like it. If you insist that we go through this rigmarole of pretense, then okay. So, you point at his chest, and as he looks down, you boop his nose. He is not best pleased. He begins to growl. You notice his eyes begin to glow red, and you notice his hands begin to stretch and transform, slowly but surely, claws glowing through them. He growls. So, you want to try that again? Right. You are lucky that you are being protected at the moment. But your actions just show that you're not going to get my vote. And with that, he kind of turns his back to you. So, what do you want to do? Boom, boom, boom. So this is going to be a oh, we are moving through. Anyone can vote in chat. Which way is this going? You're trying to intimidate him. Okay. It is perhaps going to end well. As we probably are aware of, this is going to be a action. So what we need is someone to give us a roll. Fortunately, thanks to Finley, we have 4 rolls left. So who wants to do this? Who wants to make the roll? Who wants to do the intimidation? Who is feeling intimidating today? Grrr. Oh, there we go. Marmalade straight in there and another success. Perfect. You do your best to try and intimidate him, and he laughs. ah, now that is funny. You know what? You've got spirit. I kind of like that. Maybe, just maybe, there's hope for you yet. I want to see more of that. That was good. That was very good. It seems that your intimidation didn't quite work in the way that you were intending, and you blow him a kiss as you walk away. He looks at you, shakes his head. You are a mass of voices in a single entity. He does not know how to deal with such a thing. So, the time is slowly ticking by, and it can be measured. For in this room there is a large grandfather clock, and there is the relentless tick tock, counting seconds, counting heartbeats that aren't there anymore. And it is then, out of the corner of your eye, you notice Catnip speaking to Hannah. Maybe she has re-entered the room. Maybe you just didn't see her. You have a choice if you want to speak with her now, as you can see her. Okay, so we have a. So, do you try and speak with Hannah? Watch the other fledglings, your so-called competition, or leave the room? Yes, if you play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, the crouching and walking very funny is most definitely a strong maneuver. It's looking very much like this mysterious Hannah you want to have a word with. And we are there. You head across to her and she turns her head and there is a horrible cracking sound as her neck sort of clicks into place or maybe out of place. It's difficult to fully see her face and she is wearing gloves. Uh, she has a full veil on, lace. You can kind of make out eyes, pale skin. What do you do? So what do you do? Wow, we are 111. Is it going to go in a different direction? Yes, stare at the veil. All the voices in the votes. If you are in chat, everybody can vote. We're on 40-40. One more voice. One more voice. Okay, we are tied. Okay, so I can't decide, so we will do both. It's difficult to see through the veil, so we are going to need a roll for this as you, once again, just like you peered through the mirror itself, I'm going to have to make a roll. Who wants to make a roll? That's okay. Misfit, you do it. Give me a roll. A success. That is very good. 7 dice. You have, though, lost 4 dice. Perhaps you didn't want to look through the veil, but you do. And again, you perhaps reveal sort of one of your hidden talents, one of your gifts, as you begin to perceive through the material. And you see the twisted and bent visage that lies beneath. The flesh has broken away, bone juts out, most of the upper lip is missing. The eyes are, one is much larger than the other, and the nose, well, there is no nose there. It is completely gone and missing. But with the success, you do not stare too rudely, and I like to think that you perhaps ask that. She sees you looking. It is not the first time that I have heard such a comment. Many times have I been mocked for the way that I appear, but it hones your skills. You're a talent to go unnoticed, so those questions do not get asked. I am Hannah Hickman, and I am of Clan Nosferatu. We are all blessed or cursed on our embrace with broken forms, but our gifts help us, and it is the reason why I have been brought here to try and teach and show you all some of the ways of not being seen, to be unnoticed amongst a crowd. It has its uses. I am undecided about you. You ask many questions. I can hear you from a distance talking. Many voices all vying to get out of your head. Is this not true? Talking is a necessity, and sometimes you do not wish to be noticed, and if you make a sound, if you let one of those voices out, it can lead you to the final death. So whilst talking is fun, final death isn't. So answer me this. Why do you think you have been brought here? Why? And what for? She sits and waits for all the voices in your head to be answered. You move forward and try and touch the veil. She moves with lightning speed. Do you want to push and try and boop her? For that will be a roll that is needed. No boop. Okay. Okay. She looks at the statements that you have made and she smiles. You have been told many truths here tonight. You are sireless. We do not in truth know why you have been made and left on the streets. That is not what you have been brought here. The reason why you have been brought here is because you have no future. You are sireless. You are a waif astray. You are an unknown. And it has been decided that such people as yourselves, waifs and strays, may be of use in the upcoming struggle. That maybe if you can school you, if we can teach you the ways of the kindred, if we can strengthen you and bring on your talents, you might be able in return to help us tackle the many threats that we face. The barons are slowly but surely gathering together individuals that will not be noticed, that can do things and walk in kindred society not seen, and maybe perhaps do certain jobs that those that are recognized might well cause huge political problems for. So the choices are to stay here, be schooled and trained in the ways, in the talents that you have, to learn more, and occasionally help us out with certain tasks, or to leave the house now and take your own chances on the streets alone without a sire. But we only have the resources for 3 and there are 4 of you, so we will be making a decision, and maybe you will not need to choose, for we will be making that decision for you. And with that, the Reverend enters the room again. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed meeting your teachers. We need to gather you now, and we need you to prove to us that you are worthy of being here. And that is where we will end chapter 2. Chapter 3 will be next Friday, as you are learning what you have been brought here for. It is up to you to decide whether you wish to be part of this kindred society or not. Only time will tell. Thank you very, very much for joining us. If you can, give us a follow. If you can, please either renew your subscriptions or subscribe for the first time. Really appreciate you hanging out though. And we'll do chapter 3 in a week's time. Hope you've all enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Take care. Stay safe, everybody, and see you all very soon.